All right, perfect. All right, guys. We have Tahir. Everyone should have recording access. Tahir has his video on, so it's not just audio for this. Let's go to David Newton for the first question.
Hey, Tahir, appreciate you being with us today. Want to ask you, what have you seen in Derek Brown's improvement the past few weeks, and how important is for that inside push going against Drew Brees?
Tahir, you need to unmute yourself. Sorry.
DB's been playing awesome, man. Each week, he's understanding exactly, the rigors of, the playing. He's played in the SEC, but the rigors of playing in the NFL, and just how, every week, week in, week out, everyone is good. So your technique has to be on point, and he gets it. He's starting to get it. He's starting to come into his own, and he's playing at a high level. We just got to make sure he continues to play there as well as everyone around him.
And how big is that inside push against Drew Brees, a guy that doesn't like to get pushed out of the pocket a lot?
No, it's going to be major, especially because that height difference, as far as Drew, he wants to stand in the pocket. He wants to just be able to, toss the ball and, and be comfortable. And, you get that inside push the way with DB, the way he's playing, you definitely get a chance to move him off the spot and make him more comfortable.
Let's go to Jason Huber and then Skylar Callahan.
Hey, Tahir, Jason Huber with WFNZ. I'm wondering with Teddy Bridgewater and at least practices things like that, how does he help you guys, on the defensive side, and just expect quarterbacks that you've been with too in the past, just with different reads and things like that on the offense? Can you just speak a little bit on that?
I'm sorry, you started to cut out on the first part of your question.
With Teddy Bridgewater, and you could speak as well, just with being quarterbacks, throughout your career, how do they help you as a defense, and Teddy more in particular, with the mindset that he has and the experience that he's gone through? How have they helped you in practice and things like that as a defense, trying to help you guys get better? Because you guys are a young defense. You've been in the league a while, but what has he done specifically to help you guys?
Often he'll go out there, and even when it's the defensive turn, to take our reps, where you'll get the two second string or the third string quarterback to go out there and, throw the ball around or call the plays for the offense. He's stepping in there, he's running the offense, and that just, is just a show, a testament to great leadership and just how much of a competitor he is. And, seeing Teddy go out there and give us those looks that necessarily we're going to get, it definitely helps us a lot. It helps us a great deal, because now, the timing of having to, get set up sooner, or just break on the ball, the timing of, how quick he's getting the ball out of his hands. And then, even in a game like this, with how well he knows Drew and everything of that nature, it comes in big time as far as understanding what you're up against.
Hey, Tahir, Scott Count with Sports Illustrated. Last week, Coach Rule talked about how in the previous game, the defensive line kind of made things a little confusing for the linebackers and not being able to fit gaps, and that was kind of the reason why Todd Gurley had a good day. But you guys brought it up. David Montgomery only had 3 yards of carry. Did you feel like you made strides this week, and especially the defensive line? Did they make improvements up front?
I can't really speak too much of what Coach Snow said, but my feelings on that is just when you have everyone on defense, all 11 guys doing their job, fitting the gaps that they're supposed to be in, and just using your hands, getting off blocks, and getting to the ball, you're going to play great defense. And I think on film, when we've done that, we've shown exactly who we are with as hard as we play. And we just have to do it, and do it more consistently, and do it at a high level each and every play. Sometimes, it's going to be tough. They get paid to make a play too. They're good blockers on offense and have good offensive lines. But at the end of the day, we just have to make sure that we do our job, which is, if you're responsible for one gap, get in your gap. If and then after you secure your job, okay, use your hands, get off the block, and then you try to get 11 heads to the ball.
All right, let's go to Miles Simmons and then Joe Person.
Hey, Tahir, what have you thought of Jeremy Chin's play, particularly over the last couple weeks, and what do you feel like he means to the defense as a whole?
Honestly, as you know, even with being a rookie, I'd say he's the tone setter. You know, he's a physical guy. He's fast. He's gonna fly around. You know, and he's high in spirit all the time. You know, and I always tell him, all right, man. You're a rookie and all, but at the end of the day, you're a leader on this team. You know, you we look to you when we're watching film to say, okay, how Jeremy out there playing, and when you out there, we see you out there flying around. Even as an older guy, I'm like, look, I can't turn down, not one play. I got to go out there and I got to match your energy. So the way he plays the game is greatly appreciated, not just on the defense, but throughout the whole team. You know, everybody watches the way he plays the game, and we all make sure that we all ask ourselves, are you playing with the same intent or the same tempo as 21's playing? And then if the answer is no, then it's like, you're shortchanging yourself, you're shortchanging the team. So turn it up.
Here, you've watched a lot of football, studied a lot of tape. How much of what the Panthers offense is doing looks like or resembles or is similar to the Saints?
Honestly, I think we're who we are, and the Saints are who they are. And I don't really, I haven't dissected our offense to try to figure out how similar they are to the Saints. I don't like the Panthers aren't on our schedule, so I haven't really dove into it that much. But I'll just say, the Saints have a good offense, and I believe we have a good offense, and no, that's as similar as it is for me.
And on just a quick follow-up, you mentioned this briefly with Teddy, but there are so many guys here who played with the Saints. I mean, besides just like picking their brain, I mean, do you hear a lot about this? Do you hear a lot of Saints stories, from guys like Eli and Keith Kirkwood and
just the mentality of the team. They've been good for quite some time, and you just have to respect that. You have to, so you're curious about the inner workings of how they run, the team, or things of that like that. The camaraderie aspect and how close knit some the guys are. So you pretty much you ask about that type of stuff. But and obviously that goes a long way when you have a close knit team. You're not out there just playing for yourself. It means a lot more when you're playing for the guy to your right, to your left, in front, behind. And you're playing for your teammates. You're playing for the coaches, and everyone's pulling in the same direction. So, with the guys that's come over from the Saints, just talk to them about, from that standpoint, like how have they been able to keep it going? And I think they've created a culture and everyone's bought into the culture in which they have there. And I think we have something in the works, and we have something brewing on our end to be able to definitely get to that same point. And I think as long as each guy on our team continue to buy in and take ownership in their play and take ownership in what we're trying to do as a team, I see us being at that level very soon.
All right, guys, we only have time for a couple more. So let's go to Brett Jensen and then Elena Getzenberg and finish with David Newton.
All right, Tahir, appreciate you joining us. I'm curious, you talked about Teddy helping out earlier, but I'm curious, as a veteran, you've done this a lot where you've played other teams and somebody on your side has played for that team's offense. Not just Teddy, but would someone like Teddy or those players actually sit in on the defense with you guys in some of the meetings and point things out to them about their offense or anything? How much do they really help?
At the end of the day, we all have a job to do. It could take all day, every day, every day of the week to, pick their brain and have them sit in on our meetings. So, you just kind of, Teddy got a big job to do himself. He got to go out there and he has to call our offense. So, you just gotta pick their brain throughout the week. Whenever you come across paths, hey, what does this mean? Just some minor stuff. What type of guy is such and such? How like what keys can you really get on or on this guy? And that's really the extent of it. As far as sitting in meetings, there's not enough time in the day. Everyone has a job to do, and we all have to make sure that we're committing a lot of time, to our home film study to make sure that we're out there and we're prepared to go out there and execute.
Hey, I was just Elena Getson, Rivers Child Observer. I was curious, what areas do you feel like the defense has improved in the most since like week one? Like, are there things you think that the defense has really like taken strides in? And is there an area in particular that you think you guys still need to improve?
I'll just start out with the things I believe we still can improve on, which is our third down defense. And at the end of the day, throughout the league, you've always heard third down is money down. You need to be able to find a way to get off the field. You need to find a way to make the team punt the ball and not continue to extend their drives. So I think that's something that, we'll continue to work at. And I think we will get better at it because at the end of the day, we have that type of group. We have a group of guys that are hungry to, get things to correct and go out there and play some good ball. Outside of that, I think, we've been bringing it together, where I like not having the preseason, things of that nature, and everything that's going on, the close games we've had early on in the year, the losses we've suffered, and just see how much fight we have in us as a unit, as a team. I think that right there in itself, that we can hang our hat on that and we can build off of that. It's always going to be, it's never going to be perfect, and we understand that. It's always going to be a few things that need to be corrected. And when we're watching the film, we harp more on the things that need to be corrected or the things that we did wrong instead of getting, beating our chest about the things that we did right. And I think from the coaching staff, the coaching staff, the players, that's the mindset that we all possess. We don't care about the things that we're doing right. Okay, cool. Keep doing those things. Good. But what are we doing wrong right now? And how can we fix it? And I think that's the goal right now. So as far as, keeping points off the board, in the red zone, when teams get in the red zone and, third down defense, finding a way to get off the field, that's where, we need to continue to build on.
Hey, Tahir, one more question on the Saints. I know it's a complicated offense. What does it require the quarterback, such as a Drew Brees, to be so efficient in that offense? And what characteristics does Teddy have that made him so efficient when he was in New Orleans running it?
You just have to be patient. You got to make sure, you see what personnel they're in. They have a lot of different sets, but at the end of the day, you have to get a feel for what plays they're trying to run. And, they command the huddle, Teddy, he commands the huddle when he's in there. You see Drew, he commands the huddle when he's in his. And, it's a chess match. They're not gonna try to, go over your head, every play. He's going to move the ball, move it methodically, and, lean on, Kamara, and lean on, Murray, and, get all of the receivers involved and the tight ends. They're gonna get they're gonna get everyone involved. And at the end of the day, you just have to play sound football when you're playing against them. If you have 11 guys on defense, you got to make sure each guy is doing his job. We call it do your 1/11th. And if you have everyone doing that, then you pretty much can contain them. And even when they get down in the red zone, you make sure they're not scoring touchdowns and they're kicking field goals instead. And even when you get the field goal team on the field, you got to go block it. So you got to minimize the amount of points that they put up on the board because they can score a lot of them. And at the end of the day, I think what we've done a great job of is not giving up extreme amounts of big plays. Obviously, the run defense, we can pick that up a notch. We took a step in the right direction this past game, but we have to keep chipping away at that, making sure that, we're all staring in our gaps. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to being gap sound and and understanding your job and executing your job at a high level.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Here, we appreciate you taking the time.
No, thank you. Y'all have a good one. God bless.
Media, that's going to do it for